The
Youthscape
Podcast!
The Youthscape Podcast.
Listen up, listen up. It's the Christmas bells!
Oh, happy Christmas, Rachel.
Happy Christmas, Martin. Happy
Welcome.
Christmas, Youth Ministry Community.
Welcome to the Youthscape Podcast Christmas Edition 2019.
If you're listening to this live, it's Christmas Eve. It's a double Eve.
Is it?
Yeah, because tomorrow it's Christmas Eve and Wednesday it's Christmas Day.
Christmas Eve.
Christmas
Do your family
Eve.
open an extra present on Christmas Eve?
My family are ripping presents open all the time. It's out of control, I
really?
tell you. I think we're going to do pyjamas this year. Christmas pyjamas. Is that what your family does?
You're going to do Christmas pyjamas?
On Christmas Eve.
Oh, so like
And they'll
unwrapping.
wear the Christmas pyjamas and then they'll go and have a very long sleep, become a massive lie-in.
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
Good luck with that.
Woo! There we go.
So we should say we are being very festive.
We're being so
And it's a
festive.
very exciting day in the Youthscape Podcast recording studio because we're being filmed. This is this is for the camera. If you're listening, then you can't see this.
Hello, we're waving.
But if you're watching, then you can. That's how the two different mediums work. So,
Grandpa.
so
Thanks,
Rachel
Boomer.
and Rachel.
Yes, that's
Rachel.
swag.
Yeah, I know it is,
Yes.
but I'm not that old.
No, you're not.
Rachel and I are also in festive dress,
Well, headgear.
festive headgear.
When are you ever in festive dress?
I don't know.
Festive headgear, and we have tinsel around the place. I actually banned tinsel from my house. So my daughter this year has coined a new thing. We have to go around our housing estate where we live and look for Christmas cool, so decorations that are quite nice.
Oh yeah.
Christmas cultured or classy, Christmas classy, and then Christmas crazy, and then on top of that it's Christmas cray cray. And the houses that are Christmas cray cray are like where you cannot see a house.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
just so many lights,
Just all lights.
so much tinsel,
Wow.
so much snowmen waving.
You know what I'd love to do? This is very middle-aged of me, but I'd love to hook up a smart meter to one of
would you?
those houses with the with the massive displays up the front,
then
and just see how much money they're spending on illuminating.
Can you now tell us the voice that you would use to go and tell them how much money they're spending?
Hello.
Yes, it would.
Have you had a smart meter installed? It's
Would
very
you like to
informative.
hear? Exactly. That's
Do you know
what's gonna
that
go down.
I've just had a smart meter installed and I'm slightly obsessed with it.
Whoa.
I keep walking around the house and turning off like my son's PlayStation.
The
when he's
jar
playing on it.
somewhere. Somebody somewhere has switched lights on. It's
Somebody
the
switched the
light.
light on.
Oh my goodness, Scrooge.
Who
already.
switched the light on?
Christmas Eve.
Somebody's on our Wi-Fi.
So anyway, Scrooge. When I have the lights switched off in a minute, it's gonna be crazy
Yeah.
in here. So tell us. Let's look back. Let's do a little montage now. Let's look back over this past year.
Oh yeah.
In Podcastville. So my favourites, my standout ones. Oh, there were loads of them, like Helena Kittle and loads of people. But I think Christy Wimber. I loved interviewing Christy
Your
Wimber.
friend Christy Wimber.
My friend, my girl, Christy Wimber. And then Pete Gregg, who you still owe him a fiver.
Still owe
it's
him
getting
£5.
awkward. He's now adding more to it. There's interest.
Yeah.
So you're going to owe him a yacht before too
Wow.
long. But I love those interviews. They
Yes.
were great. And also partly because I think when we began this, like we invited a few of our close friends thinking nobody really would want to be on this podcast with us, apart from those we can kind of shoehorn and get here under false pretenses. But this past year, we've had so many different voices of people who are becoming friends or we're getting to know them getting to know us. That's been really exciting, like a broader voice.
Yeah. It was a broader voice.
Broader
That's almost like if we
voice.
were a highbrow podcast, that's what we call ourselves.
Broader voice.
A broader voice.
Broader voice.
Youthscape presents A Broader Voice
There we go.
with Rachel Gardner and Martin Saunders.
And her little elf. So what are you look like an elf. You look like
I don't look like an elf.
very butch.
We should get on to what I look like, a very butch Santa.
Who were your favourites?
My favourites, I don't have favourites. I often lie to my children. I loved Trey Shepherd,
Oh.
who we got quite by coincidence because he was walking past us in a corridor, and we
great.
sat down and had this brilliant conversation about everyday miracles, signs and wonders. I thought was amazing. And I remember the wonderful women from Joel's Bar
Yes,
as well.
Pippa and Grace. Yeah.
Enjoyed that one. So,
That was
but we've had a
extraordinary.
good year.
We've had a really fun year, and I have to say these recording days are really fun. And I know
Yeah.
that we love the sound of our own voice.
We do.
And this is a time probably to thank all you phenomenal listeners, because a real high point for me was at the National Youth Ministry Weekend 2019, where we with producer Amy, we sort of said, shall we do a live podcast? No,
no one will come.
No one will come. That's a bit up ourselves, really, isn't it?
A
And
little bit.
there's so many other things people are doing, and so we kind of not half-heartedly, because we didn't want to, but felt a bit awkward. And then we did it, and there was such a great turnout of people who genuinely are in this with us, and I was quite blown away, I have to say.
Yeah, it was a lovely time. And so we recorded it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it wouldn't really be a live podcast recording.
And
It would be a
really live.
more sort of...
Are you allowed to call it live though? Because it wasn't live.
Well, it was...
Oh, I see. In that
was live.
grand medium.
It was Youthscape podcast live.
Oh, I see. Okay,
That was how we build it.
that's the voice.
And in many ways,
again.
that's what it was.
That's the voice.
No. No, that's the voice.
I have to say, actually, another highlight for me. So Martin and I are good friends, and we do see each other occasionally outside of this very forced environment. But honestly, Martin, the stories that you bring out in the podcast, I would for the rest of my life fake record a podcast with you just to have access to your ridiculous stories. Like, who else in your friendship circle gets these stories quite
I
like
don't
we
know
do?
why. The thing I was thinking about this. I think it's because I'm just the right balance of I'm like the perfect storm of social foibles, right? So I'm slightly socially awkward, but I'm also massively extroverted.
So you collect.
So I do. So I clash into relational catastrophe.
Yes. Honestly, it just follows you around. It's just, I love it. I'm like, Lord, we've got a podcast day, Lord.
Let
will
something
you just
crazy
work
happen?
your way? Just do have your way with Martin and the surrounding people that are just going to give him the fodder. We love it, don't we, people?
There
we
is
love
one.
it.
Just to wet your whistle, there is one in this episode.
What? When? Now?
No, on the recording. Because you know we recorded that thing together.
Oh, yes.
There was a story. Wasn't there? Something had just happened.
Gosh, there was a
Something had
story,
happened.
and we were all witnesses to it. Oh dear.
I would say you were all wetting yourselves, but that kind of ruins the story.
It does ruin the story. So, friends, grab your eggnog.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet. So, Rachel.
Don't grab any
Sometimes
eggnog.
I find when we're doing the podcast, you do just rush ahead without even looking at me and saying, "What's the next bit?"
Social awkward. I am the person that wraps things up.
You
pick
are.
it up now.
You trying to wrap it up straight away.
Up.
You do. I tell you, you do that on the phone.
and
You do that on the
label.
phone.
I do.
You always want to be the first person to put the phone down.
It is an anxiety of mine, but you
You're
can hear
like-
the bells are really good.
You're like, oh, he's trying to leave. Okay, cheers, bye. I put the phone down first. You do that all the time. Every time.
Next time I'm going to just hold the phone. Oh yeah. So let's just chat about anything. Okay, what
Right,
is it?
so I was going to
What's
tell
so
you.
important?
So we're wearing the headgear.
Yes.
You're wearing antlers.
Antlers though.
For just audio only. I
Yeah.
imagine there's no real audio only listeners to this episode. I imagine everyone has rushed out to watch the
Buy a laptop.
cinematic epic that Matt Allen is filming for
Oh,
us.
Matt Allen, our own Christmas elf.
Stop. You can't just call everyone an elf.
Got to the age where I can.
As I keep saying to you, Rachel, we're not all your minions. So I'm wearing
Yes.
a rather fetching Santa hat. And the reason I'm wearing that is because this Christmas,
Oh, no.
for the first time ever,
What?
I have been asked to play Santa.
Ooh, it's such a big responsibility.
It
Are
is.
you ready for this?
Well, it feels like a rite of passage. It feels like I've really hit middle age.
Who's asked you? Is it Mrs. Saunders?
No, the play group. The
Oh,
local
ooh.
play group.
That is a really.
What's
it's
worrying
missional.
about that
It's
is I don't even know anyone from the play group.
No.
They've literally just seen me in the street and gone, tell you what, that fat lad over there, he'd be a good Santa, wouldn't he? He looks about old enough.
Number one, you're not a fat lad. Number two, it's profoundly missional. So your play group
Oh,
starts.
Jason's ringing.
I think my husband's ringing, saying, "Stop! It's going live. That's why."
you want to
I
speak
don't
to
think I
him?
can take the call because it's connected into the car. Look, it won't take the call.
Oh, that's a
Honestly,
shame.
this
Jason, can you
Sorry,
hear us?
He can probably hear us. We can't hear him. You're live, darling. You're going live now to the whole of the British Empire
It's
and
not
beyond.
live, because we talked about it's not live.
It's not live. But the playgroup, you see, they want to get somebody in who has some missional capacity and nous. So when you're doing your ho 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 and you're doing all that kind of stuff, somehow it's helping people think, oh, I'll come to a carol service.
Yeah, it's not a Christian play group.
Okay, that totally ruins all of that.
Yeah.
I ran a Father Chris's grotto last year and got lots of the dads of the community to come and help out. I had to give them.
Sorry, hang on. Hang on a minute.
No, there's nothing in there that's rude. Nothing.
You dressed up
as an elf.
And then got all the dads.
No, before I dressed up, I did sing a song on the school WhatsApp.
Okay.
And I had these
dressed as an elf.
As an elf, and I sang something like, "Who will be Santa with me? I am dressed as a little elf."
And then all the dads turned up. Sometimes I think like you don't understand how the world works. Sometimes I think for somebody who's done all this sex and relationships education stuff, sometimes it just passes you by.
It filled the road. It was fine.
So it's funny that all the dads came with you dressed as an elf.
The point I was trying to make was I had dads saying to the children things like, "What would you like Santa to get you for Christmas?" "Oh, I want like the latest Barbie dream house that with a helicopter that flies itself." And the dad's saying, "That's great, I'll get that for you." And I was saying, "Santa,
hang on,
we cannot guarantee anything.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
No promises."
Wow.
I had to have strong words with the Santas. So there we go. So it is a responsibility.
Firm hand from the elf.
Stop!
So
Stop! Christmas Eve.
So
Anyway.
I've got to perfect my Santa voice.
Yes, you do. Can you do it now, please?
I haven't really tried yet.
What are you going to ask the children? Because it does get a bit boring. And
What can you ask the children?
You can ask the children. I don't even like, "Have you been good?" That's awful.
Have you been
So
good?
you could say, "Father Christmas isn't real, but it's based on a beautiful story of Saint Nicholas."
Right.
And he worked with the most impoverished communities, and what he did was really poor children put their. You could tell the whole story of Saint Nicholas, and then you'd never be asked to do it again.
Could I just say, "Hey, tell your dad I know a hot elf"?
Anyway, moving on. Let's redeem this. We love Jesus. Oh, the other day, my poor children had binge watched Chip and Potato, and it was the first day of Advent. So
What?
Back in the month ago.
What?
But at the end of the night, I thought, I've got all that stuff I say as a Christian youth worker about faith at home, about putting Jesus centre in Christmas. So I switched telly off, lit a candle, and got the children to sit down, and we talked about baby Jesus. I mean, it was really painful. They just weren't having it.
Wow, what? What is Chip and Potato?
It's a terrible program on Netflix that is like crack cocaine for kids, and they were so poorly they'd literally binge watched it on the first.
And then you felt guilty that they just
Very
watched
guilty.
a worldly television
Yeah, well, I
program,
wouldn't
so
use
you
that
sat them
language.
down, lit a candle, and did
said,
a
"Let's
service.
think about Jesus," and they were just like, "What? He's here anyway." I was like, "I know." My daughter's like, "He's watching Chip and Potato with us." I'm like, "It's really good theology, but right now, let's focus on him." So anyway.
Wow.
So Christmas Eve.
Do you know what? I hope you've had a drink if you're listening to this.
Or an eggnog latte. Is there anything else you want to say before we?
I haven't really done my voice.
Okay, do your voice.
Ho ho ho.
Oh, that's good.
That's all right.
Very
isn't it?
good.
I find he comes out American.
He does.
Ho ho ho.
What else are you going to say?
Merry Christmas.
Have you got a big beard?
It's the Holiday Armadillo voice. Amy was just saying to me beforehand, it's the Holiday Armadillo voice from Friends.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I'm the Holiday Armadillo.
Basically, you are the doorway to that free gift the kid wants. So the less of you they can have, they just want access. And it's the little kid elf that gives them the gift anyway.
Yeah.
You are totally subsidiary. Just ho, ho, ho.
Wow.
Get the kid the present.
You're just taking it away from me. I thought the kids were going to be like caught in absolute captivating wonder.
Genuinely, I think it's probably the worst thing to ever do because the kids are so scared of you. I don't know. Do you want to do it? Seriously?
Wow.
I don't
You're
think
just
you should
talking
do
me
it.
out of it now.
I don't think you should. I think it's a lie, Martin. I think it's a lie. It's built on lies. So anyway, should we release people to the live podcast?
Oh yeah, that's it. So that's all we're going to do, by the way. We're not going to come back at the end.
No.
So once you've had enough of the live podcast, do just switch it off.
Shall we just do how much we love them then?
Well, we do love you.
We do.
Yeah.
I know we muck around and we're so silly and we wither on all the time, but we genuinely have really enjoyed this year. Kind of being a bit of a tribe with you guys. We love it when you get in touch and you send us cheeky little messages. And the number of times some of you have messaged me something because you've heard something on the podcast or you want to get involved. And it's so brilliant and we love you and we cheer you on. So thank you for everything that you've meant to us in 2019. Let's do 2020! But not yet, because it's not yet.
Still 2019.
Yes, still
So
2019.
instead of that,
yes.
That you went very serious. Your gear changed very quickly. I've taken the hat off.
And the fluff is on your hair.
Oh no. You can get that on the video version. Video edition.
Hair wax.
There isn't a video edition of the last bit. So if you're on the video, this is the goodbye. If you're on the video, it's been nice to have you.
Yeah, we love you.
And Rachel's right. We do love you, actually.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Actually.
So have a great Christmas and enjoy the live podcast recording from the National Youth Ministry Weekend.